Hey, welcome guys back to Project Zero. This is another episode here. I believe episode 45 along those lines, somewhere along the line. 42, let's go with 42. Second marathon focused mostly on podcasting. I want to do a bit of housekeeping. So before we get to the podcasting stuff, we are going to cover a little bit of administrative stuff that's got to do with just managing the project in general right now over on the channel as well as the live stream channel as well as the video channel. So I spent probably about roughly 6 hours right now just trying to upload and everything. So there's been a lot of upkeep that I believe is worth mentioning and worth covering because it is related to production. Once again, this is a relief shelter, which means, place for those without family, without place to call home. And you guys are always welcome here. So this is, of course, slice of life and in real life mixed together, mishmash. Also an evolution of many other phases and developmental analogies, such as a project, a business, a personal journey, a bowl of cherries, a riverside winding left and right, and game in real life as well. So, of course, we also call it a human encyclopedia, and there's been many developments along the way where it was focused on self-improvement, self-development, and now we're just kind of sharing all of our experiences here and activities together, having a good time to fulfill, to become, to achieve and attain fulfillment. I think that's the way to put it. All right. All that stuff aside now, let's just get right into the stuff. I don't anticipate this taking much more than, say, 10 to 15 minutes, which is the standard time for most of my podcasts, just a little bit short. All right, so we have two windows on the right-hand side. Let's just get right to it. The very top-hand side, we have a YouTube. Okay, I am interested. I want to see how long that took, since we're talking about production. 2 minutes. It took me 2 minutes to get through that. All right, appreciation graphic. Thanks to all supporters, subscribers at the very bottom there. So to the top and to the bottom. So what's at the very top is the YouTube channel, right? And specifically at the playlist side. And what we wanted to do was edit the titles because previously on the project we had there was a specific way we codified the names. So we actually, we codify the names, right? Think about that, go figure. That would do something so complicated. And that's related to the CPTSD, right? Doing a little bit of perfectionism and all that kind of stuff. So we would put the 00 and then dash 0, 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 5 numerical digits. In other words, for example, you think of when you go to the library, the Dewey Decimal System to catalog all the books, right? Whether it's the United States, the US Library of Congress, so they have their own system there. In case the public libraries, they have the Dewey Decimal. So I was trying to do something similar, basically, because I am much of a information nerd. I'm a knowledge and information kind of honed in person. And at least I was very much obsessed with that kind of stuff. And of course, right now I'm a lot healthier. So I've decided to remove a lot of that stuff and simplify. That's the key word, simplify. So I removed even the 00 from some of the playlists, and I'm reconsidering whether or not I should actually use it at all. But something's for sure. We're going to switch over to the display scene very shortly, and then you'll see exactly how the tabs have changed. Because right now, this is a very small menu. I imagine it's very difficult. I can tell it's very difficult to see what the titles of the names of the playlists are. Okay, and then we look at the graphic below, and this one has to do with OBS Studio. So as I mentioned in a previous video, probably about 4 or 5 videos ago, so that would be 4 or 5 days ago, I was trying to back up OBS Studio because there are new scenes, there are new graphics, not new scenes, but there are new graphics, new settings for the webcam, for the color, the saturation, the hue, that have allowed me to use the green screen. That's another thing that has been updated. So we have a lot of new stuff here that is worth updating on the backup copies, both on the cloud and on the storage, and even on the USB. So all of these areas need to be updated with the OBS Studio. And I'm going to showcase right here, like I mentioned, there's this ONN 16 gigabyte USB drive. Get it for like $6 at Walmart, man. Plus tax, great deal. I have yet to upload onto this, but at least I have uploaded onto a portable drive. So the hard drive, plus the laptop, and plus the cloud storage. So it's backed up in 3 different places. The only reason why I haven't been able to do this with the USB is because, let's show it closer to the camera, is because I would have to unplug one of these devices from the laptop. Right now I'm using all the USB sockets. So anyways, so that can be done later on, maybe tonight, maybe down the week. It's not super important since I have already backed up in 3 different areas. And that's a key number 1 rule when you're backing things up, to always have it in 3 different areas, okay? All right, and at least one of them has to be cloud, online. So why don't we switch over to the playlist I was just talking about. So I've showcased this scene here, and you know what it's all about. In fact, I'm going to go ahead right now and pop on over. This is the cloud storage drive right on the very bottom, that browser. Okay, you can see I'm just scrolling down through, and you can see the OBS Studio assets, the bin, config folders, data, exports, stream elements, so on and so forth. And oh, for the record, I also want to mention, I think when I'm doing I'm going to be specific with my setup now. Whenever I'm doing technical behind the scenes stuff that has to do with production, I will put on these headphones to kind of indicate that I'm kind of in this kind of, I'm in the booth, I'm in the zone and working on the project. But when I'm not, for example, say reactions and stuff like that, let's try not to wear these headphones. Oh, never mind. I have to wear the headphones. I can't hear otherwise. Anyways, that's fine. So we can close it. We can close this browser. Then in addition to that, we can close the next tab, which is I'm not going to show you because it is it's my email. So I forgot to mention from earlier today in the other video. Well, today for me, but would be 5 days previous for you. There's a video where I covered a little bit about the caseworker and coming up with the proper specific dates, timeline of events, who, what, where, when, why, all that kind of jazz for the email. So anyways, I didn't close that tab. So what we can do now is just knock out both of these tabs. The first one here being OBS Studio, and the second one, OBS Studio, the OBS Studio backup. And in addition to that, the email. So I'm just going to pause the video, and then you won't be able to tell. And beautiful. That's it. Just like that. You wouldn't tell. I love the fact that you can just pause the video in the end recording immediately and just dive right into it. So that's another production tip for you guys. If you need to drink of water, or you to just you notice something's not right, and you're like, oh, okay, I had better go ahead and just pause the video. You can actually do that as long as you're recording in MKV format. Anyways, that's that. I realize now that I didn't even have to pause it because I see the privacy graphic that I put up just in case. So I don't even know why I did that. It turns out that I was thinking ahead of the game here, a couple steps ahead, just in case something happens. So no regrets, of course, because then I can just, in case I did show my email, it would have blocked it. So that's great. Now, what you see instead is actually the spreadsheet that has all my notes. And there are some titles here of the new and the old playlist names. So why don't we switch scenes now? I'm going to hop on over to the larger scene here. Just a little bit larger. It's not like a big deal, but at least you can see me better. So what you see here is renamed playlists. And what I'm going to do, I believe, is just going to swap on over this source to the other browser, which is usually named Firefox, but it's really not Firefox at all. Okay. No, it's the right one. Is it the right one? Let's see here. No, it's not the right one. This is the right one here. All right, so this is, like I said, the YouTube channel. And you can see channel content, and then below are a bunch of playlists. In fact, you can barely see this. So in fact, I'm just going to move this to the side since the main priority here is not that you necessarily see me. We're not doing some sort of reaction content video right now. We're not watching anything together. So instead, I'm just going to switch over to display. And again, let's use that graphic. Thanks to everyone subscribing, listening, watching. And let's hop on over to the side there. I realize also that Spotify isn't playing. I will let it play right now. Okay, so we're on this graphic now, and we're swapping the scenes to display. And what you see here is much larger, the channel content. This is YouTube Studio. If you have a channel for this, you go in behind the scenes, you can see self-improvement, recovery, business, marketing, technology. These are all the names of the playlist I have. And you can see that what I've changed, I recognize it now. So this is the change that I've made. Okay, it's quite important because it makes things a lot more brief. I was going to say briefer. Brief is not a word. More concise, more clear, and yet at the same time, it still allows me to say, oh, gives me that little sense of completeness. I'm always searching for some sense of completeness. I always want to make sure that's a part of it, and this has to do with the CPTSD kind of stuff, right? So I put a period in front of every single one of these to indicate that it's a subcategory within a larger, expansive topic. So it might be, for example, the project underscore, and then the subvariable would be the channel. It might be Twitch, it might be YouTube, and then we might underscore that again, and then say the subvariable would be, for example, the playlist here, and the topic specifically. So in this case, self-improvement, recovery, therapy, business, marketing, technology, blog, in real life, stuff like that. And so you can see I've renamed some of these new ones here. I mean, these playlists, some of them are quite old, to .blazerunners420, to .self-improvement, and you can tell that further down here you have other podcasts which are not renamed yet. So 00.podcast and 00.marathon, right? So those are things that have not been up to date. They're still using the .00 format, just 2 digits to indicate, and I hadn't decided. It was more like a placeholder. I didn't really know how to format it. I hadn't made a decision yet, but I have clearly made a decision now. The most, when someone drops by your channel, the most effective thing to do is just to let them see what you have to show. What do you have to offer straight up? You don't need more numbers or digits, or just make it more confusing, make it clear and concise. And that's something I needed a lot of work and improvement on. So we can see here, fix my life, family, attachment, relationships, equipment. And then down here, the rest here is like 00.00. Now I want to showcase in fact it was really atrocious. Before the 00 codification system, we had some really, really ugly names here. So we had, you see this 11.453, so 11.453 YT underscore and then game. So this tag is about 7-8 characters. We have completely removed that, and that was in for almost all my playlists, to be honest. So we're just really updating everything here and trying to make things more concise. And we'll be, of course, we're not going to do it all at once. It's just a enormous task. There's probably like 50 playlists at least with the 00 codification schema, and then there's at least 700, 800 playlists with the old, very old format, which was 5 digits plus the platform and an underscore. So that's like 8 characters there. So 11.567 YT underscore. So we can remove all that jazz. Now this is actually a tab I have to keep, because this tab is the one where I use to upload all of all the content that I'm producing. And so we're going to leave it here. For the record, shout out to the one, probably a bot, that ended up subscribing. I don't know who or what. Okay, so let's showcase what you do to update, right, the playlist. So this is the playlist page. You can see here, this is what you would see publicly. Okay, all the playlists here, and you can see some of them are updated already to remove the 00, but the fact is they don't have the period there. So this one's not even up to date. We would have to refresh it. Okay, so let's refresh it and see what we see. I'll pause it for a second here, let it load. Okay, so this is what we see here. Again, now there's some periods here. .blazerunners, .abuse, .art. Oh, for the majority of them have not been converted yet. So we only converted about 10 playlists. I'm showcasing some of them right now. So BlazeRunners 420, .blazerunners 420. This is a Patreon tier actually. It's more for my use than it is for anybody else. Published newest. I just changed it before with 00 . Right. Another playlist here. We have at least 10 of these tabs. .technology. It was 00 .technology. I mean, yeah, it was 00 .technology before. Same thing with vlog and IRL. For the record, there's a little bit of a change to syntax as well. So we removed the 00, but we also removed the commas. Makes it more straightforward. So instead of vlog, comma, IRL, we go vlog plus IRL. Makes it straightforward. Okay. It's more clear. There's more space. Here's a .abuse. Okay. That's a heavy topic. It's a podcast. That's what's in a different interface. We have .guides. dot guides. Here's another yet again. This one's you can tell that this one's even earlier on in the day because it says 994 videos. Right now it should be 996. No pun intended. I really didn't mean to say 996. Anyways, family dot fam. Okay, here's right here. Dot relationships. Dot attachment. And I have to make this pun, right? Dot attachment. Dot self-improvement plus recovery. Again, the plus instead of a comma. And dot hack sign. I had to, right? Dot hack sign, man. Classic. YTV 2008. Get off school after Friday nights and just go bionics and dot hack sign. 11:30 a.m. at night. All right. Self-improvement and recovery. Now this one, self-improvement and recovery, was one of those very hideously named playlists. It was, 11 dot something. If I go over to I can read it to you, in fact. Yeah, I can showcase you right now. So we're at the spreadsheet from that has the names. So we see it was before how 00 point. It was 00.071. How to patch live, fix, and die underscore ARP with an emoji even. ARP ECSM EGFX. Whatever that all means, right? Graphics, management. That's all so unnecessary. Come on, right? We really don't need that. Let's turn on Spotify for a moment now. Dinner with friends. Here's a perfect playlist. Okay. Let's go over to same tab again. So self-improvement recovery. You can see we haven't added anything here yet, but it's basically a new one because it was supposed to cover the fix my life one, but the fix my life one it is enough to be its own title. So we changed to 00.071 YT underscore what blah da how to patch life into fix my life dot fix my life. That's literally the name of it. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be all that complicated, right? And then we made a new one called self-improvement and then said, we just split that into two different categories and can add them all separately. And last but not least, very important, Project Jira. So Project Jira here, and we updated also the description. Make sure to say, oh shoot, we did not update the description here. Let me go ahead, delete that. That's probably from about a month past. I'm gonna hop on over here. Go to a spreadsheet, copy, and paste. Perfect. So we save this, and now it's done. We also made sure that some of these older playlists needed their settings changed, so we changed it so that the newest episodes get shown first. That's very important. I want to see what's here on Twitter. Okay, it's all RuneScape stuff, so that's not something I can showcase. I mean, there is some caretaking stuff we could talk about, I suppose, since we're talking production-wise. But I just gave a throwback, right, to YTV. So why don't we just talk about this for a moment? The Zellers. You want to talk about Zellers? This goes back to like 2000s. I can't believe that Zellers they have restarted Zellers again. So the company has come back. Shop online at zellers.ca. People freaking out. Motherfucking Zellers. How long has it been? When I was a kid, I used to think Zellers, and then I would think Sears, and I would constantly mix up those two names. I think Sears and Zellers would be, one or two are the same. And then they have Zellers here wow, they even have a food truck now. Zellers food truck. Slated to visit Aberdeen Mall next weekend. It's hilarious, man. This is a very old company. Anyways, let's get out of here. Yeah, so there's just some throwbacks, right? I mean, since we're talking production, we might as well just talk some memes a little bit here. We did mention dot hack sign, so I'm definitely including that into the title. Real throwback. So Zellers and dot hack sign. In fact, it's so important that I might as well make a note of it inside the spreadsheet right now. And I'm gonna say dot hack sign. Dot hack sign. Titles. Dot hack sign. sign and Zellers. What's the right word for this? When they come back, it's rebirth. I don't know if you want to call it that. That's actually more of a term you would use for gaming. That's not something you would use there. Anyways, great. So we can go away from this now. Let's underscore that. Okay, I'm not supposed to actually minimize the browser. I'm supposed to switch browsers, not minimize it. Okay, so let's just switch browsers here for a second. So we closed off at least 10 different YouTube browsers that are playlists, and we switched the format for those. But then there's some last minute things we have to cover. Before we get to that, just quickly want to say that there's also something else I realized related to OBS Studio and the backups. So it's 20 minutes now. I have to wrap this up real quick, but basically down here, there's a file explorer down here that has to do with OBS Studio. So this is having to do with the program files on Windows Explorer. I'm glad that we're on the display scene, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see this. In addition to that, you can see there's like 10 other Windows Explorers, maybe 12. And here it is, the Seagate drive and the Windows drive. So just close that as well because it's not really necessary because we have already updated on OBS Studio and also, we have backed up OBS Studio over to the portable drive and there's no need to transfer anymore, except for maybe from the USB. But we can save that for, when the time actually comes. So the last couple of things of housekeeping that we got managed is, what's going on here? Okay, just let the music run. Last couple of housekeeping things. So, of course, we had to go over and make sure we updated the streams. So what I realized, the stream, first of all, the phone, this one really pissed me off earlier today. It made such a loud clattering noise. I just pulled out the plug and then the whole phone just fell down. It almost made it sound like it shattered across the floor or something. But of course, it's quite sturdy. It didn't break. Anyways, put it back on, restarted the live stream on the phone, and now it's running again. So while we were doing that, we might as well go ahead to Twitch, right? And you can see here all the VODs, the video on demands, the live streams, and we decided to just highlight every single one of these ones here. Turns out it was since April 10th, the entire week. 10th, 12th, 12th, 14, 15, 16, all of these needed to be highlighted, and I decided to highlight 4 of these live streams out of 5 or 6. And you can see the processing of the highlights here, one by one. Same thing here as well, one by one. 3 of them now, and then last but not least 4. So one of these where we don't mind losing, but the ones that have the most views, usually the one I can see a stream here lasted 43 hours, and then the other stream lasted 6 hours. So what a contrast in duration. Okay, so something else we had to do on Twitch, last housekeeping thing on Twitch, it was this. Basically, we went over, and since we updated the playlist names over on YouTube, why not do the same thing on Twitch? So you can see here, it's 00.rebirth. Before it was some 5-digit code with underscore TY or TW for Twitch. And then there's like, it's just very ugly and messy. Here we go, we have some samples. So 53.2, fracture, emoji, ceiling breakpoint, DLC with 2 symbols and ARP. Here's one even worse, 02.2, backlog, comma, emoji, waitlist, and queue, and then 2 symbols again. System development and admin, and periods and commas in the hour project. Why do you need to say all that? So, it should just be obvious. And it's just me being paranoid and perfectionist at the time, which is something that I've overcome largely. So we have 00.rebirth. We have 0.fixmylife now. Before this would have been how to patch my life with an emoji and then 5 digits. Project Jira doesn't even have a 00. I just wanted to stand out. So 3 playlists here that we use: Evidence, Fix My Life, and Rebirth. I have 00 dots, and then Project Jira is just standalone. Brilliant. So we're going to actually leave this because the Twitch, we actually have to drop by our Twitch live stream once in a while. And that's, in fact, I think that's what we're going to do right now. I know this is going to cause some lag, so I'm going to pause the video for a second. We should end the video anyway, so
Working at Intact means opportunities that are in sync with your goals, benefits that can be scaled to your needs, and chances
Oh,
to
is
grow
this
with
still
us.
running?
Visit our
There's an
career site
advertisement
today
right
at
now, and that's trying to pause the OBS
careers.intactfc.com.
studio, but I don't think that's going to work out right now.
At Casper, we treat sleep like the most
Okay,
important
go to our
thing
channel.
in the world.
Just quickly
Because
go to
it
our
is.
channel.
Our team researched how much heat is released during the night, so we designed our mattresses to be the perfect balance of comfortable and breezy, helping you drift off with ease and stay asleep all through the night. Awaken the potential of your well-rested
Alright, so we're heading over to our
and discover
video
all the
producer,
comforts of a Casper mattress at Sleep Country.
and that's so that we can hopefully stop lagging right now. I know it's quite atrocious, and I do apologize, but I felt that was quite important to mention. Alright, so that's everything I think that we have to cover there. I want to mention also briefly that I hop over on Discord once in a while to check in. Turns out there were some people who dropped by on Discord, so again, always welcome there. And it said hi. Feel free to leave your messages, give a little introduction. It's always nice to have new members, new people join. Okay, so that's that. Discord, what else? The one last thing I should mention, you can see here, someone hopped on over, so hey to CWO Crowley, as well as to Kikio, and also to Kikio. That's a throwback to Inuyasha. We're getting so many throwbacks in this video. So Angel, I guess, Anagil, they kind of swapped the E for the G. Angel and Black Lung. I noticed that some of these people are not here. They left. That's fine. But there's actually someone who stayed. So welcome to Project Zero Respite Shelter. Hopefully you'll be on a little bit more often. But I'm sure you have other things you're doing right now. I know I do mine. So over onto YouTube, there will be one last thing I should probably do is hop on over to the live streams and add them over to the live stream playlist. But aside from that, everything's a wrap. I don't need to actually show you that. And so